Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Picture your own street. Feels normal, right? Safe.
Yeah, predictable.
Now imagine, well, the absolute worst happening. Right next door. A murder.
Yeah.
And you don't even know.
It's a terrifying thought.
That's the reality we're stepping into today. The story of Beverly Smith. She was only 22 years old.
Murdered in her own home in Oshawa. Quiet place.
While her baby, just 10 months old, was sleeping nearby.
Unbelievable.
And the really unsettling part, the main suspect, well, it was her neighbor.
Someone she probably saw every day, maybe said hello to.
Exactly. A friendly face? Possibly. And the search for answers in this case. It took decades, with some truly disturbing twists.
It really makes you question that sense of community safety, doesn't it? That trust we just assume is there.
It really does. When someone that close could be involved, it's chilling.
Makes you wonder what you don't know about the people around you.
So for this deep dive, we're going back. December 9th, 1974, Oshawa, Ontario.
A cold day, I imagine.
Beverly Smith's at home. She's got her baby daughter there.
And her husband, Doug?
He was out. The sources mentioned he was picking up some weed at the time.
Okay.
So Beverly's on the phone, just chatting with her sister. Normal conversation.
Great.
Then suddenly, her sister hears a scream.
Oh, God.
A really sharp, terrifying scream. Then a loud bang.
And then
Silence. Just nothing.
Yeah.
That everyday moment just shattered.
That silence must have been deafening. The panic her sister must have felt. Unimaginable.
Absolutely. So her sister, she races over there, completely frantic, obviously.
Of course.
And she finds Beverly.
Yeah.
Dead. Shot in the back of the head.
Awful. Just awful.
But here's where it gets even stranger. The baby. Perfectly fine. Still in her crib. Completely unharmed.
Thank goodness for that, at least, but still.
And the crime scene itself, the reports describe it as, like, disturbingly clean.
Clean. What does that mean exactly?
No sign of forced entry. Nothing looked like it was stolen.
So not a robbery gone wrong then, if nothing was taken.
That's the big question right away, isn't it? Doesn't seem like a robbery. So, was it something else? Something more personal, more sinister?
The lack of obvious motive, like theft, definitely points away from, random violence.
Right.
It suggests something targeted. But why Beverly? And why, brutal, precise almost?
Those are the questions investigators must have been grappling with immediately.
For sure.
So, naturally in the beginning, the police looked close to home. Standard procedure.
Meaning the husband, Doug.
Exactly. He was out at the time, remember? And let's be frank, back in 74, the whole out buying weed thing probably didn't help his image much.
No, probably raise some eyebrows.
Yeah.
But you have to check the spouse's alibi, the timeline.
Right. They need to rule people out, build the picture.
Understand the relationship dynamics.
But pretty quickly, the suspicion around Doug started to fade. The timeline, it just didn't quite work for him being the killer.
Okay.
Plus, and this is interesting, you took a lie detector test.
And
Passed.
now, polygraphs aren't, perfect science.
No, definitely not. But it was enough back then for the police to think, okay, maybe we look elsewhere.
So they shifted their focus.
They did.
Yeah.
And that's when their eyes turned.
Yeah.
Next door.
The neighbor. This is where it gets really uncomfortable.
Totally. Suddenly the potential threat isn't family, it's proximity. Someone just there.
It changes the whole feel of the investigation.
So enter Ellen Smith. Beverly's neighbor, same last name, but no relation. Just the guy living next door.
Seemed like a regular guy.
Apparently. On the surface, yeah, average Joe. But then this detail comes out.
What was it?
The murder weapon was a rifle. A .22 caliber rifle.
Okay.
And guess what Alan had recently done? Sold a .22 rifle.
That's definitely noteworthy. A coincidence. Maybe.
Or maybe not. You know how sometimes there's that one neighbor, kind of quiet, keeps to themselves, maybe a little too unremarkable?
Yeah.
That's sort of the vibe the sources give about Alan. Makes you think, doesn't it? What can be hidden behind just ordinary?
That rifle detail is a solid lead for investigators, though. A tangible link, even if he didn't have the gun anymore.
Right.
And that description, too unremarkable, It's often how these stories go, isn't it? Appearances can be deceiving.
Okay, so now let's jump forward, way forward. 30 years.
Wow, 3 decades. That's a long time for a case to sit.
It went cold, really cold, like Canadian winter cold, as the source puts it rather bluntly. Decades of silence, just questions hanging there.
The family must have been living with that uncertainty all that time.
Unimaginable. But then, 2006, out of the blue, a tip comes in.
A new lead after all that time.
Yeah, and it breathes life back into this completely stagnant case. The police decide to try something. Well, pretty controversial.
Okay, I think I know where this might be going.
They go deep undercover.
The Mr. Big technique.
Exactly. It shows incredible persistence, right? After 30 years, they're still pushing. They must have thought this tip was solid.
It's a major operation. Resource intensive, ethically complex.
Oh, totally. It's like something out of a movie. They set up this whole fake criminal gang.
Right, posing as gangsters.
They befriend the target, Alan, offer him protection, fake jobs, money, lure him into this made-up underworld.
Fancy dinners, the works, all an elaborate setup.
The whole goal is to gain his trust, make him feel like he belongs, like he needs to confess to be fully accepted by these powerful figures.
Designed to lower inhibitions, get information they couldn't get otherwise. It's definitely a debated tactic.
And it worked. Or, well, it seemed to. In 2008, after months and months of this charade,
They got something.
they got a confession. Alan told the undercover officers that, yes, he killed Beverly Smith.
Wow. After 34 years, that must have felt huge. Like justice was finally possible.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Sure.
A confession, the mystery solved, closure for the family maybe.
A pivotal moment. You can imagine the relief, the hope.
But hang on, because, well, it's never that simple in these cases, is it?
There's a catch.
There's a big catch. Alan's confession. It comes with a story. He says it was an accident.
An accident? How?
He claims he was high at the time, that he only went over there to, like, scare her, and the gun just went off.
That sounds convenient, as the source material notes. An accidental shooting during a scare tactic, while high.
Right. It immediately puts a question mark over the whole thing. Is he really confessing, or is he trying to downplay it, minimize his own responsibility?
Was it a real admission, or just saying what he thought these gangsters wanted to hear, maybe framed in a less damning way? Crucial difference.
Exactly. So the case finally makes it to trial. Imagine the tension. The family's there waiting decades for this moment.
Holding on to that confession as the key piece of evidence.
The smoking gun, literally.
Yeah.
But then, in court, bam, everything changes.
The defense fights back.
Big time. They argue Alan only confessed because he was basically pressured, coerced by these undercover cops pretending to be criminals.
Right. The core argument against Mr. Big stings that the confession wasn't voluntary.
They painted this picture of manipulation, saying he wasn't admitting guilt freely, he was just scared, trying to fit in with these dangerous guys.
It highlights the legal tightrope these operations walk. The confession has to be voluntary to be admissible.
And then, the judge agrees with the defense.
No way.
Yes. The judge rules Alan's confession inadmissible, throws it out. Says the whole Mr. Big operation was too coercive, it crossed a legal line.
So the confession, the key evidence,
Yeah,
gone. Just like that.
gone. 30 years of waiting, of hoping, evaporated because of how the confession was obtained. A legal technicality wipes it out.
That is absolutely devastating, especially for Beverly's family, to get that close.
And then to have it snatched away, it must have been crushing.
The trial just collapses.
Completely falls apart. Without the confession, the case against Alan is incredibly weak.
And Alan Smith.
He walks free.
Unbelievable. After confessing, albeit with the Axides story.
Yeah, free man. It's a stark reminder of how the legal system works, isn't it? Due process is paramount, even if the outcome feels deeply wrong.
It protects against wrongful convictions in theory, but here, it feels like justice wasn't served.
So think about Beverly's family again. Decades gone by. Still no conviction. No official answer.
And Alan lives on, legally innocent, but under this huge shadow of suspicion, forever tied to the case.
It leaves you with this really difficult question. Was he manipulated into a false confession? A tragic figure caught up in controversial police work?
Or was he guilty? Did he kill Beverly? Maybe accidentally, like he claimed, maybe not, and just managed to beat the system on a technicality.
We just don't know for sure, and that lack of resolution is agonizing.
It really is the heart of the tragedy here. The uncertainty lingers.
It's what the source calls it. Justice delayed becoming justice denied. Haunting.
Truly haunting.
But wait, because there's actually one more layer to this. One final, really chilling possibility.
What's that?
Some experts, according to the source material, don't think Alan acted alone.
He wasn't the only one there.
They believe there might have been someone else in the house that night.
Another person?
Completely unknown, never identified, never caught, and their motive, a total mystery.
Wow. That adds a whole new level of darkness to it. If Alan wasn't alone, who else was involved? Why?
It makes everything even more complex, doesn't it? Suggests the truth could be even more buried, even more disturbing than just Alan's potential involvement.
It really does. It means we might not even have the full picture of who was responsible.
So the final thought we're left with is unsettling, to say the least.
Yeah.
What if the person or people who killed Beverly Smith are still out there,
Living ordinary lives. Maybe still in Oshawa.
carrying that secret for nearly 50 years now? It definitely makes you think twice about who's around you.
It's a powerful reminder that things aren't always what they seem. That the truth can stay hidden, leaving nothing but questions and unease.
Sleep well tonight, neighbor. And if his deep dive gripped you, make sure you subscribe. We're always digging into these cold cases, these unsolved stories. You never know what secrets are waiting in the shadows.
Perhaps answers are still out there waiting to be found.